Hey, it's show and tell. What am I showing you today? You're looking at it. It's my watch band. It's made of a fluoroelastomer. Now here's the question. What would happen if I took this watch band and chopped it up and over a period of a year ate it completely? What would happen to me? Reason I ask that question is because there have been a slew of headlines about these watch bands and how they are slowly poisoning us and how they are full of toxins. Well, do they contain toxins? Yes. Define toxin, substance that can potentially do harm. The chemicals we're talking about are the PFAS, perfluoroalkyl substances. These are widely used because they are water resistant, they are fat resistant. And that's exactly what we want. We want that watch band not to wear away as we sweat into it or as we rub it against the skin. The problem with these PFASs is that they are everywhere. They're in our water, they're in our air, they're in our food, they are in our furniture, they're in the ski wax that we use, they're in the oil with which we spray our bicycle chains, they're in cosmetics because they are so useful. They resist both water and oil. That's great. But that means that they're in our bloodstream. We all have some of these compounds in our bloodstream. So I don't think it's much of a surprise that virtually every disease is associated with PFAS because we all have them. Now, that doesn't mean we shouldn't worry about them, because indeed there are some significant studies that have shown in animals, in the laboratory, and in human epidemiological studies that they are potentially dangerous. So we want to cut down on our exposure to PFAS, that's for sure. But how much of a contribution is that watch band? So this is where I made a sort of back of the envelope calculation based on the paper that created all the commotion. Well, I looked at the median amount of PFAS that is present in such a watch band, which is about 700 nanograms per gram, according to the study. And given that this is about 40 grams, I calculated the total amount. Then I calculated if we ate the whole watch band, how much would get into our body on a daily basis, and I compared that to the most stringent regulatory regulations, and that's from Europe, and that is around 300 nanograms per day for an adult. When I made the calculation, that came out to about 70 nanograms per day, so it's about 1/4 of what the most stringent regulations in Europe are. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't be concerned about PFAS in general, because yes, they can be harmful if we're exposed to sufficient doses. But the amount that cuts into our body from this, I don't think is significant, certainly not by my calculation. And obviously, estimates based on eating this thing over a period of a year are way over exaggerated. I know that when I wear this for a year, it's not going to wear away. This watch band will look exactly the same a year from now as it looks now. So not much is going to have been absorbed into the skin. Anyway, this is not at all to dismiss concerns about PFAS. But I don't think this is a significant method of exposure. So I don't mind wearing this when I exercise. I don't worry about the amount that leaches into the sweat and into my body, because I think most of the sweat falls off anyway. So I appreciate the fact that when I exercise, I can look at the watch. It tells me how I'm doing, and over the day, it tells me how much exercise I've done. And that is indeed important. Much more important than worrying about the trace amounts of PFAS that can leach out into my body. So that for today is our show and tell.